Hello everyone, my name is Vinny and I'm currently living at the Ananda Palo Alto community here in California, and I've been following Ananda for about 2 years now. One of the things that got me hooked to Ananda was actually their website, ananda.org. Their website was just so inviting and so warm, so welcoming. The vibrations of this path have come across even in the website itself, and it definitely did in my case, looking at the website. Being a college kid, being young, the first thing I look to is what are they offering for free? And they have a free inspiration tab along the side of the website, which they have a plethora of resources, one of them being the books. They just offered it just like that because the basis of this community is wanting to share Yogananda's teachings. So after reading The Path, I felt the same thread of consciousness and truth that came from Autobiography of a Yogi, and it was the same book, essentially, The New Path of Swami Kriyananda. So after reading these two books, I was just super hungry for more information and more knowledge and this higher consciousness of just going head deep in it. So after reading a few more books that were listed free of charge on the website, I thought it was a good foundation and a good platform to take the next step. One of the amazing features of the Ananda website is that they offer a course in Kriya Yoga. That form on Ananda, for me especially, because I knew right away that meditation and Kriya Yoga was going to be an instrumental role in my spiritual growth. That's what really got me hooked after finding out about Ananda. It was such a blessing to discover Radio Ananda, which is Ananda's radio station that they have online. That once listening to Swami's music and Ananda's music, it transforms your consciousness that much to really be able to view the whole world completely differently in such a sweeter way. And that was such a blessing to discover on the Ananda website, their Ananda radio station. It was a true inspiration. Another component of the Ananda website that really was instrumental in keeping me in tune with the teachings while I was away in North Carolina, away from the communities, was a newsletter that they have by Clarity Publishers. They compile all these articles from the spiritual directors currently at the Ananda communities, as well as from Yogananda when he was alive here in America giving his lectures. Another thing that I also really enjoyed about the website was the vast library of videos that they have, especially of Swami Kriyananda. As someone that was relatively new to the path and only had read books on Swami, I think it played such a vital role in really understanding the magnetic force that was Swami Kriyananda, the amazing impact that he had globally that you won't necessarily always get from just reading a book, although I felt I did as well. But the videos of his lectures, of his satsangs, really amplified that to another level. You could see the magnetism and energy exude from his body. Those videos really were another instrumental part in my spiritual growth and my wanting to come to California and live in an Ananda community.
My name is Jill Coker. I'm from South Africa. I've lived in Johannesburg for over 20 years. I'm originally from Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe. My experience in spirituality arrived unexpectedly. In 2007, my daughter and I used to go to the botanical gardens for lunch on a Sunday, And on this particular day, after we'd finished our lunch, we got up to leave and my daughter stumbled and she said, "Mommy, I've been bitten by a snake." Her foot started to go black immediately, so it was neurotoxic. Divine Mother was good to us that day because the hospital they took us to, there was anti-venom. They kept Donna in that night, and it was that night that I went home and I spoke to God the whole night. I cried. I just didn't know what to do, and I said, "Please, if you can save Donna and give her life, please just let me do whatever I can to serve you." And I had just completed my 2-year study in therapeutic reflexology. I sat down next to her, I sat down on the bed next to her, and she was telling me how sore she was. I put my hands under her chin, just gently touching here where her glands were very sore. And as I did that and touched her, she just said to me, "Mom, don't move, something is going through my body." By the grace of God, her foot being black and the flesh, normally an operation is required, Donna completely healed in 2 weeks. It was just after that that I found Autobiography of a Yogi, and I started to search on how I could become a part of Yogananda and begin the path in Kriya Yoga. And I used the internet, and I stumbled upon Ananda. I contacted them immediately, and I asked how I could start understanding more about meditation. I joined the Kriya Yoga talk by Devashi from South Africa. Even though there's a time difference of 10 hours, 9 or 10 hours, it was wonderful to be able to listen to him talking about Kriya and what it was about. I felt inspired immediately, and I signed up straight away with the first process, which was meditation. And that was in 2010, and I took my discipleship December 2011, and then I decided I needed to take this further and come to Ananda. I arrived at the end of November. I didn't know if I'd be taking Kriya, but it just fell into place, and the ministry said that I could take Kriya the beginning of December, and I have, and I'm solidly on this path now. But there is so much more to do in helping others understand just how simple living and Yogananda's way of simple living and Kriya from around the world. I felt it online. I felt the lessons and the connection all the way through in those years, and I'm thankful for that. I feel I'm home.
My first experience with Online with Ananda, I was taking the Lessons in Meditations course, and Sanjan, who's now Brahmachari Sanjan, was one of my instructors. I had several other instructors as well, including Savitri. It was a very wonderful experience, so much more than I had imagined it could be. I felt so embraced by the instructors. I felt as if I was getting real personal, because I was getting real personal guidance from them regarding my practice and my spiritual growth. I hadn't had anything quite like this before. Such loving and careful guidance, especially online. It was very surprising. I have so far taken the following courses: Lessons in Meditation, the Raja Yoga course, Course in Discipleship, the year-long Ananda Leadership course. I'm now taking Preparation for Kriya Yoga, and Mary Kretzmann's Healing with Divine Energy. What can I say? They're amazing courses,
thank you. It's really incredible how much they share and how little they ask in return. Our Ananda New York City meditation group, we meet every week or so. And every month we also have a healing prayer circle. This month, our group leader Colleen had the idea of joining up with the virtual community guided healing prayers, which happen regularly. So our group linked up with them via Skype, and it was a room full of us. So it's after our own meditation and our own meetup. We put the computer on a huge screen, and we joined with the virtual community online. And it was a wonderful experience. And we hope to do more of it. What would be amazing, is if we were to be able to meet this way with other groups, other meditation groups, other centers throughout the country, throughout the world. The virtual community has improved my life. It has brought the vibrations of this spiritual path more into my life. I am deeply grateful for the amount of contact and inspiration and fellowship that Ananda Online, that Ananda offers the whole world. I'm deeply grateful.
Well, the Healing Prayer Ministry is a ministry that uses the techniques of Paramahansa Yogananda to help send healing energy, divine energy, to souls in need and to situations in the world that need positive healing energy. My son Benjamin, who was 20 at the time, he was riding his bike down the hill, and a car was coming up the hill and turned left in front of him and didn't see Ben. He flew 33 feet through the air and landed on the left side of his head. I immediately called Mary Kretzmann's home number, and I called all my friends locally and emailed everybody I knew throughout the Ananda world and shared what had happened, and felt all the people praying for Ben around the world. And it was very beautiful. Is that same feeling of divine love that I felt in my heart through all these souls that I'm sure are praying for me as much as for Ben. He also felt those prayers. And here he has this brain trauma. You'd think he'd say, I have such a headache, but he's going, I feel so much love in my heart. He's extremely grateful to be alive and well and 100%. And we're all very, very grateful. The power of the prayers has to do with the power and the strength of the person transmitting the healing prayers through the hands and the spiritual eye, and how focused their energy is towards the situation or the person in need of healing, as much and also on the receptivity of the person or the situation needing prayers. It's always a blessing to finish a meditation with the healing prayers. Yogananda would say the channel is blessed by what flows through it. And so we can all be blessed in the moment of sharing healing prayers for anyone and for many situations. And it's one of the first experiences that the devotee actually has, to feel that energy flow through them and know that they are a part of an intelligence much vaster and a reality much greater than our own little selves. I've seen the Ananda Healing Prayer Ministry, as I just shared with my son. It was a miracle. He's alive, and also 100%, and very quickly so. But also I've seen the healing prayers work in many, many people's lives. These prayers are really important, and that they do have a very positive effect in people's lives and people who need healing.